What's going on, everybody? This is John Shake Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Bluffton Tech Dynasty here on EA College Football 25. We're here towards the back end of season number 1, and while we haven't won our first game of the season yet, we have slowly but steadily have gotten better. And now we're here at the Tech Center, and maybe we could use what we've learned as well as the home field advantage of the Tech Center to finally get our first win in program history. But with that being said, we'll have our certain challenges up ahead, as Western Michigan is certainly going to be seen as the better team. They're a 76 overall, while we're a 69 overall ourselves. And they also have a pretty good corner in Aaron Wofford, who, while may not have the best coverage skills, he also does have very good acceleration and very good reaction time in those situations where he does get put out of place. We also find ourselves in a spot to where we have to find a way to win one of our next 3 games. Otherwise, we will be kicked out of the MAC and we will have to become an independent for year number 2. So the pressure is going to mount on us here in this episode. Let's see if we can figure it out, and let's see if we can find a way to get her done. With that being said, I am so excited to get in on the MACtion as we try to pull an upset off on Western Michigan. Let's see if we can do it. With that being said, I hope you guys are excited for today's video. If you are, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well if you do have to be brand new to the channel. Let's see if we can play a little bit of spoiler against this Western Michigan squad. Alright boys, so we'll go ahead and get things going here as we'll get our first drive of the game here about a couple minutes into this game. It's been a series of, teams punting back and forth, but that first down that you just saw was the first down of the game between either team, and we were getting kind of close to halfway through the first quarter in order for that to happen in the first place. So let's see if we can build some momentum now that we actually have a first down under our wings. So with that being said, we do have a 2nd and short coming up. We're going to look to run it right down the middle again. I like the hole that we got with Keontae Tyson. And Keontae Tyson is going to be able to go ahead and pick up that first down, as that will take us into Western Michigan territory for the first time today. As we'll keep it on the ground with Keontae Tyson. He's going to pick up another few yards on that particular run, and at least keeps us on schedule, because these 3rd and 5s are not going to be the easiest for us to do. Trying to throw to the left-hand side, and it's a close window, but is still able to be brought down. What a throw by DJ Armstrong, because, man, he certainly had to thread the needle there. And now we got a fresh set of downs as we try to go play action over the middle, and we find the freshman Chris Gentry for a big gain as well. And now Bluffton Tech is staring itself down right by the goal line. So 1st and 10 for the 9-yard line as Armstrong gets going in the shotgun. Is going to hand it off to Will Peoples, and Will Peoples is going to get a little bit closer to that goal line now, as that's going to be a 5-yard run for the freshman running back. We'll see if we go to the ground here yet again. Different running back in the backfield. Still going to hand off to him, though, as Julius Bedford Jr. is going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech! And the Rats are coming to play here today, as your Fighting Muskrats are going to take that initial 7-0 lead here at the very own Tech Center. As that's actually going to bring us to the end of the first quarter, and lo and behold, we got ourselves a lead here once again, up 7-0 here early. Let's see if we can keep it going here through these other 3 quarters of the game. So with that being said, the defense is playing extremely well on top of what we saw from the last drive, able to force a 3 and out, as they're going to try to throw deep downfield. Wanted a big play, and probably should have just went and threw underneath. Had multiple guys open underneath, but really wanted to target the freshman wide receiver in Chris Gentry. DJ Armstrong, listen, got a little bit too greedy there. I'm going to be real with you there, bud. But Western Michigan is going to be able to take advantage of our mistake. And that is going to officially be picked off by Tate Holick, who is a senior. However, we got lucky in that Western Michigan could not do anything with the turnover. So, with that being said, score is still going to be 7-0. We can't put ourselves in these kind of bad spots yet again. So, 2nd and 10 after the incompletion to the tight end, as we'll officially hand it off to Will Peoples, who gets a little bit of running room and nearly picks up the first down on the ground there. Will Peoples doing a nice job running the ball, and it looks like we might be going power for power right here. 8 men in the blocks for the Broncos, but it's not going to matter, as now we got Keontae Teague out in the open space. First down, Bluffton Tech. And the Fighting Muskrats putting together a decent little drive here yet again, and looking to continue that as well, as Chris Gentry is going to be able to make his 2nd catch of the day, and it's quite the contested catch as well. So, 3rd and 6 coming up as Armstrong is looking around, seeing who could get open as Armstrong drops back, looks to the right-hand side, finds Chris Gentry yet again. What a spin move. Oh, he was doing him dirty there, big fella. And that's going to set up nearly another red zone opportunity for Bluffton Tech. However, we try to run it on 3rd and 8, and lo and behold, it actually works. We actually do have the long 3rd down converted on a halfback draw of all plays. Imagine that. So that means we'll be set up with a 1st and goal as we try to figure out what play we want to go and run next. Gonna try to see if we can get open here on some slants. And I'm looking over to Williamson over on the left-hand side. Armstrong. Well, it's actually going to go in a different direction, but it's going to be batted away at the line of scrimmage. So that, unfortunately, is going to be incomplete. However, we still have a couple more shots at the end zone. And we'll see if we get Will Peoples a little bit closer here as we're going to run it up the middle. Will Peoples able to find some running room and gets all the way down. So it looks like about the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal coming up. And we'll see if we can get our 2nd touchdown of the day. Peoples going to be, no, it's going to be a read option for DJ Armstrong. But Western Michigan plays it extremely well. Thought we could pull a fast one there with the fact that, listen, Will Peoples did a lot of work on this drive. But instead, we will be caught behind the line of scrimmage. And our kicker does make a field goal for us. A short field goal, but he does at least make the field goal for us nonetheless. We will at least take a 10-0 lead here. But 2-minute drill is coming up for Western Michigan. And we're going to try and see if our team can hold it down here for this 2-minute warning. So it starts with this 3rd and 8 as we're trying to get Western Michigan off the field. Throwing over the middle. It's going to be a broken tackle. Now it's a foot race down the middle of the field. Eventually caught from behind by Nate Foreman. But it's a massive game for Western Michigan as the Broncos officially in business for the very first time. As they're going to be looking to try to get ahead there as they try to cut the tight end seam over the middle. Chase Freeman was there on the coverage. That was going to be a tight window to throw that ball in. As now 2nd and 10 coming up here for Western Michigan. As it's going to be a play action. Looks over the middle. It's going to be caught inside the 15-yard line. As this senior quarterback in Hayden Wolf is starting to warm up. We'll see if the Broncos can turn this into points or our defense can hold it down. Looks over the middle. It's going to find a receiver. And it goes for a short gain there. Able to pick up a few yards there before using one of their timeouts. Still got 2 timeouts that they can use as Wolf wants to throw it to the left-hand side. Nobody covering him. And the Broncos are going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Western Michigan. And the Broncos are going to cut this lead down to just a field goal. And that will mean that Western Michigan will still be down. We still have the lead going into halftime, but the lead is much smaller, which means you already know that margin of error is also going to be a lot smaller as well, even though we are outgaining Western Michigan at the half. So, with that being said, we got to come out here in the second half. We got to come out with some focus. Because here we are in our first drive of the second half. I have a chance to get him off the field right away. Tajay Cole's brother. That was not even necessary. What are we actually doing here, man? That's crazy. So the face mask is going to hurt Tajay Cole tremendously. And this should have been plain and simple. Should have been able to get off the field quickly. And instead, the drive is going to keep going. Hopefully it doesn't haunt us too much here going forward. So another third down conversion coming up as Western Michigan looks to throw over the middle. And it is going to be quickly caught for the first down. As again, Hayden Wolf continuing to find that rhythm from late in the first half. But that is a nice break up there. Oh my, that was a great play by the DB. And now it's going to be 3rd and 10. Looking to try to get this crowd revved up for this 3rd down. Looking over to the right-hand side. It's intercepted. Bowie, the senior, able to make the play on the ball in double coverage. And this defense came ready to play today, man. Let's go. And Bluffton Tech will hold on to the lead, at least for the time being. What a play out there in the secondary by Jaden Bowie. So now it's time for our offense to try to take advantage, as Armstrong's going to go ahead and get started with a run over to the left-hand side. What a cutback by Will Peoples. Is able to make this 2nd and short. We'll see what Bluffton Tech decides to do on its very next play, as it looks like they might be settling in on another RPO. Might have something with square here, but we threw it late and the corner jumps on it. That's going to be taken all the way back to the end zone. And just like that, we are no longer going to have the lead. Touchdown, Western Michigan. And I wouldn't say this one is on DJ Armstrong, right? This was a great play by the defensive back. And we got killed for it, man. We got killed tremendously for it. So now we're down 14-10, but we're certainly not freaking out by any means. We just got to focus in on this next drive. Let's see if we can get this lead right back in our back pockets. So 2nd and 10 coming up after the incompletion, as we got 3 receivers to the right. Armstrong looking to step up in the pocket. Didn't love what he saw downfield. He's going to scramble for it. Pitt tries to pick up the extra yardage. He should have slid down, and he didn't. He did not slide down, and that is going to be costly. It was a great run by DJ Armstrong, but because he didn't end up sliding, then we give up the fumble. And now Western Michigan, they have the ball yet again, and a chance to really seize momentum here in this second half. You want to talk about a big drive? We certainly have one right here. 3rd and long coming up as Western Michigan's going to look over the middle of the field, and initially covered by Chase Freeman, but Freeman just did not realize that Anthony Sabanchi was going to cut it upfield like that. Thought he was going to keep it going on the mesh, and eventually that will lead to yet another touchdown for Western Michigan. And the Broncos now have themselves 21 unanswered points ever since Bluffton Tech initially took that 10-0 lead. The dynamic of this game has completely changed. And now it's your Fighting Muskrats that are going to be on the back foot. As Armstrong's going to look over to the left-hand side. He's got a receiver over there onto that side of the field. And it will be picked up for the first down. Nice job by Armstrong. Able to extend the play and calmly find his check down. As now Bluffton Tech will go into their no huddle in order to pick up the first down. Will step up in the pocket, though, and will slide this time around. So we are learning from our past experiences. At least we can say that. But we will get to the end of the 3rd quarter as we take a quick look at what those college football rankings are looking like. Don't have any teams in the MAC, so it looks like the MAC might not have a team in the playoff this year. But we have a long way to go before we even start worrying about those kinds of things, right? So we got to learn how to win a game first. And unless we can make something shake here in this fourth quarter, we're going to be in some serious trouble. As 3rd and 11 coming up, Armstrong trying to throw over the middle, and unfortunately got hit as he threw it, and it will harmlessly fall to the ground for an incompletion. So with that being said, we were forced to punt the ball away back over to this Western Michigan squad. And while we were playing extremely well in the first half defensively, that has certainly changed here in these last couple of quarters though. 2nd and short coming up as they're going to go with a read option, and I thought we were going to get this quarterback behind the line of scrimmage, but Hayden Wolf was able to stretch the ball out, and we continue to hurt ourselves here with this particular penalty as well. We are already in a spot where, hey, maybe we shouldn't shoot ourselves in the foot too much, but Deshaun Weeks had other ideas. It's another one of those games. This is the 2nd game in a row where we are significantly losing the penalty battle, but that is the 4th penalty called on Bluffton Tech. While Western Michigan, they have put together a pretty complete game. We could have a chance to get a fumble there. That might have been Jaden Boley that might have helped get that ball loose, but unfortunately couldn't actually get the ball in our hands physically. So now here we are with a chance for Western Michigan to try and figure some things out here on a 3rd and long. As now their quarterback will drop back, but facing some pressure, breaks the 1 tackle, and thankfully that one was out of bounds because Hayden Wolf had him wide butt naked open there. I think our secondary thought that that play was going to be over and kind of just stopped covering. So we at least get the stop. I am glad that we were at least able to get the stop, but another field goal means 2 touchdowns, and that will just be enough to tie it. So big drive here for Bluffton Tech, trying to cut it back to a 1-possession game as Armstrong gets another clean pocket to work with and didn't like what he saw downfield. He'll use some of that mobility to slide down and picks up a decent chunk of yards there, able to get to about the 40-yard line. As I want to try to send this downfield, but it looks like Western Michigan is playing back, so I'm going to dump it off to Will Peoples instead, and he'll at least pick us a few more yards there. Want to try to at least get another play or two before we go into the 2-minute warning. That was a dangerous throw, but somehow able to come down with it as that clock is still going to run. As we're going to set up here on this 1st and 10, likely the last play that we have before going into the 2-minute warning. Armstrong looking, tries to get it out there quickly, but is hit as he threw it. Thankfully will be considered an incompletion, as now Western Michigan is really coming after our quarterback here. They know what the situation here is, and they are just pinning their ears back, and they're getting after it right now. So 3rd and 14, we have a chance to get a quick throw over the middle and find Chris Gentry for the 1st down, as that will get Bluffton Tech to about the 30-yard line. A good drive here, but just needed a little bit more of this earlier in the day, as we'll throw over to right-hand side, trying to connect with Foreman, but Damari Robertson is going to be there to jar that ball loose. And what we thought was going to be a certain completion, well, it was certainly not the case. So 2nd and 10 coming up after that incompletion, as Armstrong is going to look upward and is going to scramble up the field. He'll slide down once again, and Armstrong has been a very dual-threaty quarterback today, able to get 80 total rushing yards on the day. His legs have certainly been helpful in today's game, but haven't been able to do enough. It might be trying to do one run too many, as he was looking at circle, but the curl was not open, and so he tried to scramble again, and it looks like, unfortunately, he might be getting just a tad tired, right? Which is a tough scene. So now any chance of winning this game is likely going to be gone, but I am able to at least force the 3 and out, so we'll at least get our offense out on the field for one more possession. Very valuable time here for us, as this is an opportunity for us to come out here and at least get some extra reps for our offense. Maybe the guys that you see on the field this year are going to be coming back, as Armstrong looking to throw over the left-hand side. That was a dime to Chris Gentry. Now, that's something that we could take away. Chris Gentry has definitely been one of our best offensive players in this series so far. He has really shined. We're going to try to dot him again, but we're not going to have nearly as much success. So only 12 seconds left here in this game. So we have 2, maybe 3 plays left if we play our cards right properly. So we're keeping that in mind as Armstrong's going to look around. Wants to throw it over to R1, but that pass was thrown way too late. And that was the story of our second half. Just mistake after mistake after mistake in that second half. And unfortunately, it's going to ultimately bite us in the butt. So even though we had such an incredibly strong start in this game, with only a couple games left here in the regular season, we're still scrambling to try and get this first win of this series. So Tate Hullock is going to be named player of the game for Western Michigan. He had 2 interceptions today, and it was just a tough look. This one hurts. This one definitely hurts as well because we had the lead. We actually had our largest lead of the game, but we let it slip from our fingers in the second half. Especially in that second half, man. We turned the ball over, I think, 5 times in the entirety. No, 4 times in the second half. We lost multiple fumbles. Just sloppy football in the second half. And, you know, it made me feel like we had 4 separate teams that were out here. Not to mention, we completely hurt ourselves with the penalties once again. And while DJ Armstrong certainly had his moments today, 3 interceptions is simply not excusable. He threw us out of this game, 18 for 33, 200 yards, and 3 interceptions. But not only that, Armstrong, yes, he ran for 83 yards today, but he fumbled the ball twice today and lost both fumbles. This one is on him. I also felt like we did not do a great job getting Will Peoples going today. He had 12 carries for 44 yards in this particular matchup. But for the receivers, I will say, Chris Gentry, he had a really nice day today. 6 catches, 113 yards. He really did his thing out there. He really carried us out for the receivers, especially in that first half. Really helped move the ball down the length of the field today. And I can't really say anything bad about this defense because, in all honesty, our defense was put in some tough spots in the second half. Chase Freeman did lead the team in tackles today. He had 9, followed by the freshman Nash Burte. So Nash Burte, I think, is going to be a really nice linebacker for us moving forward. Xavier Wilson and Terrell Pace are going to tie for 6 tackles as well. We did get 1 sack today. It was from Nash Burte. Nash Burte did get 1 sack in this game. And then Jaden Bowie, our senior quarter, did also force an interception. No forced fumbles today. I thought we had like a fumble loss, but I guess they might have ruled against that. Oh, they might have actually overturned that. I'm glad that we were able to force a turnover at the very least, but unfortunately it's not enough, and we go back to the drawing board. But even though we continue to struggle on the field, off of it has been a different story. Kyle Gaddis is a 3-star quarterback, and he's actually going to verbally commit to our school. A West Branch, Michigan product, Kyle Gaddis could be someone that maybe we could sneak on the field in his freshman year. You never know. But here are some of the other movements that we have in the top, in terms of guys that are, getting a lot closer to making their decision as our brand exposure goes up. You love to see that. But yeah, man, we got Kyle Gaddis. He's going to be joining the squad here, man. And then we're actually going to be closing in on a couple of other schools that should be making that kind of decision here pretty soon too. You love to see it. But we only have 2 games left here, and while we put together a quarter or even a half or even 3 quarters a couple of times, we haven't been able to put together a 4-quarter game. And unfortunately, with the margin of error for us and with the talent on our roster, we got to put together a 4-quarter game if we want to win. And next episode, we will be taking on a similar type of team in Ball State. Ball State is probably the worst team that we have remaining. This might be our best shot to win a game this season. So, a key one here against Ball State here in the next episode, and I'm hoping that we can find a way to gut it out. While it's been a challenging year, number 1, we've been able to grow on and off the field, and I hope you've been enjoying this series, even though it has not contained any victories yet. with that being said, this is John Jake Gaming on the mic, hoping that you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. If you do have to be brand new to the channel, this is John Jake Gaming on the mic signing off. Hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.